Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video on Kerbal Space Program. This is video number 2 in the series. In the last one I was kind of just messing around showing you how to build a basic rocket, but in this video I'm going to actually talk you through a bit of my career progress on Kerbal Space Program's career mode. And also I'm going to touch on a little bit of mathematics that I've been learning to try and help me out with this. There's a lot of tools that mean you don't have to do that much maths if you want to play Kerbal Space Program, but the thing that I think is really cool about this game is that it teaches you things, and if you go into it with an open mind you can learn all kinds of things that you didn't know about orbital mechanics, which is actually really cool. Anyway, enough parping about, let's do it. Hi guys, and welcome back to my Kerbal Space Program career. Now, last time out you no doubt thought me as some sort of lunatic, grabbing parts at random and throwing them together. I was having fun, but science was hurting. So this time round I thought I'd have a go at some actual mathematics. I thought this would be a fun and practical way of putting into practice something I've been reading a lot about in the Kerbal Space Program community: Delta V. So yes, Kerbal Space Program allows you to really quickly build rockets and throw them together, but if you want to build them to go actual places and do actual things, you have to figure out how much that's going to cost you. Yes, when I say cost, I do mean you'll pay for parts and you'll need to decide how much fuel to carry, but ultimately what's important is the Delta V cost. So I've been thinking about how to communicate this, and I think the easiest way to think of Delta V is that it's a currency. So you need a certain amount of it to do anything or go anywhere in the Kerbal solar system. So to go into low orbit, for example, you'll need around 3,500 meters per second of Delta V. Then to go to the moon, you'd need to spend a lot more. You can figure out how much Delta V you'll need for each bit of the journey and then build an elegant craft that will provide close to that amount for the least cost. And you can affect the Delta V that you have in the bank by changing the engines, the amount of fuel you have on board, and the thrust to weight ratio of your overall design. I'll show you how it works with a simple example, and I'll try to show you the maths. Now, it's worth saying that you can actually get software and plugins that will do all this for you, but I don't actually think there's that much fun in that. At least doing it this way, I'm learning something, and for me that's kind of the point of the game, to take ideas and concepts, understand them and put them into practice. It's a brilliant sandbox to test what you think you know. So first up, what is the formula for Delta V? Well, you need to know 4 things. 1, what the specific impulse of the engine you're using is. You can find this in the menus. 2, what the standard gravity of the body you're trying to escape is. On Kerbin it's always 9.8 meters per second. And then you need 2 final things. You need to know what the weight of the rocket is when it's full, and what the weight of the rocket will be when it is empty. So here's an example. This is like a single stage rocket, and it has a full weight of 8.63 tons and an empty weight of 2.480 tons. And I've found that out by emptying the fuel from the solid booster here and seeing what the weight was before and after. So I'll know what it'll be when the fuel is all burned. Also, I can see that the specific impulse of the engine I'm using is 175 at above sea level. We're not in a vacuum on the launch pad, so above sea level is the number we need. And as I mentioned before, the standard gravity is a constant of 9.8 meters per second. You'll need to work this out for each stage, by the way. I'm keeping it simple by having a single stage rocket here. And then there's basically a calculation you can do to figure it all out. So Delta V is equal to the specific impulse of the engine times by the standard gravity times by, and then it gets a bit complicated, you have to use natural logarithm. That's a function on a scientific calculator. So it's a natural log of the full weight over the empty weight. So if you stick in those values, what you get is 175 times by 98 times by a natural logarithm of 8.630 over 2.480, which gives us a Delta V of 2138. And there we go. So if we actually test that out and send the rocket up, we will get close to that. We'll see that the final speed of that rocket when it exhausts its fuel is close to that number. Now it won't be exactly right, it'll be off by a bit, and that's because this craft hasn't been particularly well designed, so there's no aerodynamic considerations been taken into account. So there'll be things that will influence the delta V a little bit, so you'll need to, I always add a little bit in for error, and I'm not going to model the air turbulence of Kerbin. I don't think the engine even does that properly, so it'll give you a rough idea of what your delta V will need to be. And there we go. Next time, I'll actually try and do something a bit more fun, like blow something up. Actually, you know what? Here's a nice bonus for you. So I was trying to land a plane I built at night the other day, and I realised I was coming in way too fast. So I had to bleed speed really, really quickly, and I didn't have any air brakes. Did I land it? Well, carry on watching and find out. Until next time, bye. 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 Love you. Oh yeah.